अवज्ञानतिवृन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं राधा कृष्णा पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, canto 10, chapter number 41. In the previous chapter, we read the prayers of Akrura when he went to take a dip into the Yamuna river, and there he saw Krishna and Balram being worshipped by the various devas, and then he prayed to them, and then he comes out from that. So this is when he is taking Krishna and Balram to Mathura from Vraj, and the other Vrajvasis were also there, Nand Maharaj and his friends, but they were left behind because they were in the chariot and Brajvasis were in bullock carts, so different speed and different route. But as we will read, they actually reached before, because Akrura, he stopped at Yamuna to do his noon puja. So in the meantime they reached and they are waiting at the entrance of Mathura. So in this chapter it will be described how he enters into city of Mathura. So this is the crescendo of the music, because many asuras came and Krishna, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, बैंड बजा दिए सब. So he played the band of everybody. That's a saying in Hindi, means he smashed all of them. And the last one remaining is Kamsa. So Kamsa is the Ahankara, and Ahankara is the last one to go. And no one else can smash Ahankara except for Krishna. Actually, Krishna doesn't have to smash him. He was smashed just by the fear. Bhayad Kamsa. So Deshad Chadyad Nripaha. So only by the fear of Krishna he was dead. And as we will read, he was sitting on a high post, because that's what Ahankara is. Sits on a high post. But inside is all empty. There is a fear. So now he is entering into Mathura. This is being described. So verse number 1, Sukadeva Goswami, in the previous chapter he described the prayers. Now he speaks here. Stotastasya Bhagavan darshitva jale vapuhu bhuya samaharat Krishno nato natyam mivatmanaha. So Bhagavan jale vapuhu darshitva tasya stuvataha. So when he was reciting prayers, he was doing stuti, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna has shown his form to him there. But then bhuya samaharat Krishno nato natyam ivatmana. But then again he unmanifested his form, samaharat. Just like an actor who is playing a role on the stage and comes and then disappears. So nato natyam ivatmana. So just like a nata, Krishna is also called nata, Natvar Vapu. He is the best of the actors. Nata means actor, nata also means dancer. Acting also includes dancing, Indian movies especially, not the Western. In the Indian actors, dancing is compulsory. Dancing, singing, that is part of nataka. It includes that. So no nato natyam iva atmana. So just like a nata, like a dancer or like an actor, he removed his form or he unmanifested his form. So bhuya samaharat Krishna natyam iva atmana. And sopi cha antar hitam viksha jalad unmajya satvara kritva chavashakam sarvam vishmitoratham agamat. And then Akrura, what did he do? That is being described, that he also, when he saw that Krishna's form is no more visible to him, so he also came out of the water immediately, satvara. So as long as the form was visible, then he remained inside, because he was so fascinated by this. And we saw that he came out and he saw them sitting, he went in and he saw them. So now he comes out and kritva cha avashakam sarvam, no, sopi chant viksha jaladan mujya satvara kritva cha avashakam sarvam vismitoratham agata. And then he performed his necessary prayers. chanting of mantra, because he has gone inside to take a dip. So now he sat on the bank of Yamuna and chanted his Gayatri mantra, whatever, Vandanam. And then he came to the chariot and he was in a very astonished state, Vismita, because he saw something very unusual, which no one has seen before. And when he came there, Tamaprichad Hrishikesha Kim te drishtam ivadbhutam bhumau viyati toeva tatha tvam lakshyamahe. So then Sri Krishna, he asked him that, did you see anything strange in the sky, in the water, or in the land? Bhumau viyati toeva tatha tvam lakshyamahe. Because I see that. Why is he asking this? Because he's not asking as if he knows, but because he looked very surprised. He had that surprised look on his face. He was not the same Akrura as he went before he went inside the river. Now he looked very much different. So therefore he says, Tamaprichad Hrishikesha Kim te drishtamiva adbhutam, that something adbhuta, something very astonishing. Did you see that? And why am I saying? Because I see that you look very surprised. Tatha tvam lakshyamahe. So Sri Akrura vacha, Akrura said, Adbhutani he yavanti bhumau viyati vajale tvai vishvatmake tani kim me drishtam vipashyata. So Akrura is also smart. After all, he is Krishna's uncle, so he also replies smartly. Smart question, smart reply. So he says, what is there any astonishing on earth, on the land, in the sky, when I have seen you? Is there anything more astonishing than you? So, tvai vishvatmake tani kim me drishtam vipashyate. What is there to be seen when I have seen you, who is a vishvatmaka, who has the whole universe within him, or who is personified of everything. Vishwa means universe. Vishwa also means everything. So it doesn't mean only this material universe, but anything, whether it is material or spiritual, it's all Vishwa. Vishwa means Sarva. So, kim te tani kim me adrishtam vipashyate. When I am seeing you, tvai vishyatmake, then what is there to be seen anywhere? So, tvai vishvatmake. So that is his reply. So we'll read the commentary of Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So there is not much comment. So eka chatvarinshake yagat purim strir mohayan nahan rajakam vayakayadat sudamne cha varan harihi. So Harihi, Sri Krishna, Purim Agat. In this 41st chapter, it is described that Krishna, he reached the city of Mathura. And Mohan is 3. So all the women of Mathura, they were astonished, completely fascinated, Mohan, by his beauty. Because he is so beautiful, so wonderful. This is one of his extraordinary quality, his beauty. So Sri Mohan Ahan, but he also did something, he killed the washerman. So Rajaka Mahan, and he blessed the tailor and the flower man Sudam. So he blessed 2 people and blessed the 3rd one also by killing. So Rajakam actually, although generally the word Rajaka is translated as washerman, but really it doesn't mean washerman. Washerman is dhobi. Rajaka actually means a person who dyes cloths. Ranjarage dhatu Rajaka. So Ranjayati Vastrani iti Rajaka. But maybe they are doing both. The people who are washing, they are also dyeing. So that's why the word probably also means washerman. So generally here the word Rajaka, it is translated as washerman, but literally it means one who dies. So since he dies, he died. Right? Krishna said, you dye clothes. Okay. You die, So he says, Rajaka Ahan. He made him die. So that's the subject matter of 41st chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So, tasya iti anadare shashti. So here, in the first verse, the word tasya is used for Akrura, tasya stuvataha. So while he was reciting prayers, at that time itself, Krishna disappeared or he unmanifested his form. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that here the sixth case is used in the sense of disregard. So iti anadare shashti. Sixth case is interesting because it has the biggest range in which it is used. When nothing fixed, then shashti. So why anadare? What is the disregard here? Why is saying that there was a disregard? So because he was praying, he was reciting prayers, and when he is reciting prayers, suddenly he disappears. So he did not let him complete the prayers. So that's why he says, because it says stuvataha. Stuvataha means he was still reciting, he is not completed. So stuvataha tasya. So it's actually from the word stuvata that he gets this sense. In the verse there is no mention that there is a disregard, but he is deriving this sense from the word stuvataha. So stuvatas tasya bhagavan darshitva jalevapi. So samaharad antardhapya masa. Samaharat means that he unmanifested the form. Natyamiva iti upsanghara eva drishtanta. So nato natyamiva atmana. So he says here the example of nata or an actor is given only in this aspect, not anything more, not that he was doing any acting there or he was dancing or nothing like that. Only in the sense that just like on the stage we see that actors appear, especially in a drama. So some actor comes and then when his role is over, then he goes away and another one comes. So like that he just disappeared. In that sense it is said natyam. Nato natyam yatha upsangharati tathaiva krishno vaikuntham vaikunthiyam cha sanatanam vastu tat sarvam upsangjahare ityartha. So the meaning is that just like an actor, he disappears from the stage or he hides himself, goes behind the curtain. So in that sense, means that form is eternal. Just as the actor on the stage is not dead when he is not on the stage, but he is not visible. He goes behind the curtain. He comes on the curtain and goes behind the curtain. So in the same way, Bhagavan, he manifested his form, made himself visible, and now he makes it invisible. So like going behind the curtain. His form is still existing. It was not, why he is saying is that it should not be thought that the form which he showed was some magical form. So like a magician, so you show something, but that thing is not real. So it's not in that sense. So that's why he says nato natyam, that is also the significance of nato natyam. So that's why he says nato natyam yatha upsanghrati. Just like an actor closes the scene of particular act or his acting, like that he closed it. So what is that? Krishna vakuntham vakunthyam cha. So Krishna closed the scene of Vakuntha and also all that which exists in Vakuntha. So Akrura was seeing Vakuntha inside the lake or the river, and also the objects in the Vakuntha. And these are all Sanatana, they are all eternal, not temporary, that is the significance. Tat sarvam upsanjahara. So all that was made invisible by him. Tatha tvam lakshyamaheti. So why he asked the question that have you seen anything? So he says, because I see you like that. I see you in a surprised state. And here lakshayamahe is in plural. So means Krishna is speaking also on behalf of Balaram, because Balaram was also sitting there. So they both looked and saw him. So what is that they saw? Tam netre sasre protfulle evatra pramanamiti bhava. What is the proof? Because it was said Vishmito ratham agamat, that he came in a very surprised state. So how did he know? So he says he saw that his eyes were very blown up and there were tears of ecstasy in his eyes. Sasre netre pratfulle eva atra pramanam. So this is the proof. So this is the indication. Just like when you see smoke, then you know there is fire. Yatra yatra dhumas tatra tatra vanni. So he is saying that yatra yatra sasre utfulle netre tatra tatra vismaya. That your eyes appear like this. Just like you see somebody red eyes, face is red, raised voice, when you know this guy is angry. So you don't see the anger, you only see the linga, you only see the symptoms of anger manifest on the body. And from the symptoms, you make an inference that the person is angry. Because these are emotions which are manifesting inside, and then which are inside, but they also bring some vikar, some transformation in the visible external form, body. So from that we understand. So that's what they are saying. Tav netre sasre protfulle evatra pramanam ti bhava. So anena krishnenaiva tatsarvam svayabhavam evaha darshitayati. So then what is he saying? Akrura. So he is saying that yes, I am seeing all your vaibhav. Krishnenaiva tatsarvam svavaibhavam eva aham darshitam. That it is you only who have shown me all this vaibhav. That whatever I saw, that was actually shown by you only. Because he has seen, he saw this, he came out, he saw them, he went back and forth. And then he sees also the resemblance in their face. So then he says that it is you only who showed tat sarvam svavabhameva ham darshita tadris tat prashnad eva nishchitya saharsha vivekamaha. So how did he conclude this, that it is Krishna who showed this? So he concluded this from the question. So much communication is happening without speaking. It's like Krishna, he is understood just by looking at his eyes, at his face. And then when he asked the question, so that question is also indicating that why is he asking this question? Because he knows he is the one who showed me his form. So that's why he tadris tat prashnadeva nishchitya. So he ascertains this fact that what I saw is actually Krishna's form, and he himself has blessed me to show me all this. And therefore, with happy viveka, saharsa vivekamaha. So he speaks intelligently in a very happy mood. Adbhutani bhumi adau yavanti santi tani tvayeva santi. So there are different ways of seeing this sloka. Adbhutani hai yavanti bhumo viyanti vajale tvai vishvatmake tani kim me adrishtam pashyata. That yes, I saw. So he says that whatever wonderful things exist, whether on earth, in the water, like in the ocean also there is a big world inside, many wonderful things. And then in the sky, so many, all these luminaries rotating. So all this, whatever is there, all this is within you only. Tani tvai eva santi. So what is the significance of saying this? He says, Atas tattvam vipashyato me kim adbhutam adrishtam iti tu sarvame drishtam iti artha. So now he says that when I am seeing you, what is that wonderful thing that I need to see, or I have seen? He says, if I have seen you, I have seen everything. So as Arjuna says, sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarva. That sarvam avittir tishtati, you pervade everything, therefore you are everything. So sarva is also one of Krishna's name. So that is also Vishwatmak. Viswa, sarva, same thing. So he says, if I see you, then I have seen everything. In the Upanishad, the statement is there, Yasmin Vigyate Sarvam Vigyatam Bhavati Tad Vijigyasasva Tad Brahma Tattvamasi Svetaketu. So by knowing which you know everything, you should try to know that. So that's what he is saying here. So this is the commentary of the Upanishadic statement, that by knowing whom everything is known. So therefore it says, Tvai Vishwatmake Tani Kim Me Adrishtam Vipashyata. So by seeing you, I have seen everything. What is that I have not seen? So significance is that yes, Sarvam Eva Drishtam Ityartha, that I have seen everything. So that's what Akrura says. And then he continues further in verse number 5. Yatra adbhutani sarvani bhumau viyati va jale tam tvanupashyato brahman kim me drishtam ihadbhutam. So basically same thing which he says in the previous verse, he expands on that. That yatra adbhutani sarvani bhumo viyati vajale. That whatever wondrous things exist on earth, in the sky, or in the water. Tam tvam anupashyato Brahman kim me adrishtam ihad. So now when I am seeing you, tva anupashyato, and he is calling him as Brahman, kim me adrishtam ihad bhatam. So what is the adbhut thing? Means he is actually saying in another sense that if I have seen you, what can be more wonderful than you? So one way of saying was that when I have seen you, I have seen everything which is wonderful, or all wonderful things are in you. And then he's saying that if I see you, what can be more wonderful than you? Means that there cannot be anything which can be more surprising or more beautiful than you. So this is the greatest wonder that I am seeing you. So therefore he calls him as Brahman. So Brahman means who is Sarvvyapaka. Brahman also means who is the greatest. So this also is that if you know Brahman, that is what is said, Tad Vijagyasasva. Know that, Tad Brahma, that is the Brahma. So that's what you are. So here Krishna is being equated with Brahman. So Brahman is not something else. And it is not that Krishna is Sagun Brahman and this is Nirgun Brahman. There are two divisions of Brahman, and Sagun Brahman is inferior and Nirgun is superior. Nothing like this. It says Tam Tvam Anupashyato Brahman. So he is Brahman. He is Param Brahma. Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Arjuna also says that. So he is the Supreme Brahman, the highest manifestation of Brahman. So kim me adrishtami adbhutam. And then iti uktva chodayamasa syandanam gandhani sutaha mathuram ramam krishnam chaiva dinatyaye. So after saying this, then he started the chariot, because he was driving the chariot. So Syandanam means chariot, Gandhani Sutta, that is Akrura's name, son of Gandhini. And Mathuram Anayad Ramam. So he brought Ramam and Krishna, both Krishna and Balram, to Mathura. And when they arrived, he says Dina Atyaya. So he says they came there towards the end of the day. So there later on it will be explained that it was not really end of the day but just the afternoon. Because after that they will be traveling into Mathura. So they did that, seeing the Mathura city in the daytime only, not at night. They were not seeing night life of Mathura but the daylight. So therefore it says Dinatyaye, that it was just an afternoon. So by afternoon they came there. And Marge Grama Jana Rajans Tatra Tatra Upsangataha Vasudeva Sutau Viksha Prita Drishtin Nacha Dadu. And when they were going, then on the way, the village people all came out. There were whatever villages were there on the way. So they came out to see Krishna and Balram. So Tatra Tatra Upasangata. So they all gathered to see him. So who are there? Vasudeva Sutava. So here both Krishna and Balram, they are called as son of Vasudeva. Otherwise in Uraj, Krishna is known as Nandanandan, Nandasuta. But here now he is going to Mathura, so he is becoming Vasudeva Sutta. This is also explanation that Krishna did not go to Mathura. The Nanda son Nandanandan remained here, and it is Vasudeva Sutta. So that's why the word Vasudeva Sutta is used. So it is Mathur Krishna who went to Mathura, or we also read this in Krishna Sandarbha, if you remember. Jiva Goswami explained that Krishna is always present in Vraja, in Mathura, and also in Dwarka. But in his Rāsa-līlā, he becomes manifest and unmanifest. So when he is manifest in Vraja, he is unmanifest in Mathura and Dwarka. When he becomes manifest in Mathura, then he becomes unmanifest in Vraja and Dwarka. And same when he manifests in Dwarka, becomes unmanifest there. So that is also the significance here why the word Vasudeva is used, Vasudeva Sutta, that now it is Vasudeva Krishna and Yashodanandan remains back here. So that's the trick they played. He goes into Yamuna. So then they jump out from the chariot, go back, and the one from Mathura come and sit there. So they enter there. So Prita Drishtim Nacha Adadu. So out of love, these people were so joyous, they were very elated, they were so happy, pleased to see Krishna. They have heard, some of them may have also seen him, but probably not all of them. And even if they have seen, they are happy to see him again. Nobody is bored to look at him. So Prita Drishtim Nacha Adadu. So this is a little strange statement. Some statements are a little strange sometimes and then they need explanation. So Drishtim Nacha Adadu means they do not put their glance at Krishna. That is the direct meaning. Means they don't look at him straight, like you look into the eyes of somebody. So one explanation is that they were shy, especially the women who came, because earlier Vishwanath Chakravarti said Stri Mohayan, that he was very infatuating to the women, so they did not look at him straight. Or the meaning is that they were not able to take their eyes off of him. Sadrishtim Channa Adadu. They were transfixed when they looked at him. That is another meaning. So Tavad Vrajokashas Tatra Nanda Gopadayo Grataha Puropvanam Asadya Pratikshanto Avatasthire. And the Vrajvasis, the Gopas, Vrajokasha, they were already near Mathura. So they did not enter the city, Nandagopadayo Agrata, Puro Upavanam, but they stayed outside the city in a garden, Upavana. So just like in the West, you see that outside the village there is always some small forest. In Europe at least I have seen, come out there is always some small forest. So it was in India also like that. So the city, because the cities they were generally enclosed by a boundary wall for protection. Like if you still go to Mathura, you hear about this is Holy Gate, right? This is Dig Gate, this is this gate. So why this gate? If you go to Delhi, there is Ajmeri Gate, there is a Delhi Gate, Lahori Gate. So the whole city used to be enclosed by a high wall to protect from enemy. And there were gates which were usually closed at night for protection. Like you see the forts, if you go to Rajasthan or you go to Agra fort is there. So there is entrance and all around there is a wall. So that's how cities were. The whole city used to be inside like a fort. So these Vrajvasis, they stayed outside. So they had reached earlier because Krishna and Balram, they stopped because Akrura wanted to do his chanting of Gayatri mantra. And then on the way people also came out. So there also they have to, just like these days some big leader comes in India, then they go for a road show. Have you seen that? It's called road show. So then the car moves very slowly. So like that Krishna was also having chariot show. People were standing on both sides, maybe they are throwing flowers at him, so he was waving to them and accepting their greetings. Because in the car also they keep the top open so that everybody can see. So this was theirs. Marge gram jana rajans tatra tatra upsangata. So that's why they got delayed. They did not reach before the Brajvasis. So he says, Purapunam asadya, having reached the pleasure. The kings also used to have pleasure gardens. That was called Upavana. Upavana means like a small forest. Arama is called pleasure garden. That's the word. So the commentary by Sri Vishwanath. Kincha tvad asmin drishyamane samprati tu tani sarvani adbhutatva na kalpyante kintu tvad eva idam ityaha. So Akrura is saying that now when I see your form, so whatever I saw, that is not so wonderful. So samprati tu tani sarvani adbhutatva na kalpante. After seeing you and your beauty, those things which I saw, they don't look very astonishing to me. This is what he says. Yatra tvai sarvani adbhutani tam tva tvam anupashyato nirantaram ikshmanasya samanyata bhumi ado kim adbhutam tadrishtam api tuna kim api. So now whatever wonderful things I have seen, now when I am seeing you, so the word used here is anupashyato. He is not saying just pashyato, but anupashyato. So anupashyato means that he was looking at Krishna without moving his eyes away from him. So nirantaram ikshmanasya. Samanyata, so in general, bhumi ado kim adbhutam tadrishtam. So what is wonderful anywhere, says there is nothing. There is nothing more wonderful than seeing you. Kintu idameva tvad rupam sarvatopi adbhutam drishyate. So this form, this is the most astonishing thing to be seen. Jale sankarshan narayana parshada anvitam yad vaikuntha sthalam adbhutam drishtam tatopi paraha sahasrani adbhutani tadrupe asmin vartante iti pratyemi ityartha. So he says, what I saw inside water, I saw sankarshan, I saw Narayana, form of Narayana, because and the associates of Narayana. So all that I have seen there. And yad vaikuntha sthalam adbhutam drishtam, and I also saw Vaikuntha, which is very adbhut, wonderful. Tata api paraha sahasrani adbhutani tadrupe asmin. He says, more astonishing, more wonderful things, thousands times more wonderful things exist in your this form. There is nothing more astonishing or wonderful than this. He says, this is what I understand. Pratyemi tirtha. He Brahman, Brahma chaiti pathdvayam. So there are two different readings. There is a word Brahman is there or Brahm is there. So both can be applied. Brahman is invocation, Brahma will be Prathama Ekvachan. Tvam Mahamaheshwaraha Sakshat Parabrahma Evasi. So you are Mahamaheshwara, you are the supreme Ishvara of all. You are the direct manifestation, Narvapu, Parabrahma. So Parabrahma in the human form. Tvai bhratus putratva jnanarupam man madhyam samprati tvatkripya nisheshena pakshinam iti bhava. So what I used to think that you are the son of my brother, because Akrura is his uncle, Vasudeva is Akrura's brother in family relationship. So I was thinking you are my nephew. He says that was my foolishness. Now I realize who you are. You are not my nephew. You are the source of Narayana. So samprati tvatkirpya nisheshenaiva apakshinam. He says that thought I had that I am your uncle, you are my nephew, that thought has sublimated. It has disappeared like camphor go into the air in the heat. So you cannot see it anymore. So Gandhini Sutta Akrura, Gandhini Sutta means Akrura. Nadaduhu pashyanta eva nispanda babhuvur ityartha. So he brings another meaning to this nadadu. He says when these people were looking at Krishna, then their eyes became motionless, nispandana, babhu. And then pratikshantaha Ram Krishna pratikshmana sthita ityartha. So Nanda Maharaj and cowherd people, they were waiting for Krishna and Balram because they all wanted to enter together into the city. So they waited there. Purvam rath sagrena anugantum asamarthe ratha vartmam parityajya riju margenaiva tairagre gamanad akrura nimajjana nibandhana vilambacha iti bhava. So now of course the question can come that how is that these people reached before Krishna and Balram? Because they are coming in the bullock carts and Krishna and Balram came in the chariot which is driven by horses. So they should have been behind. So he explains that actually when they began they were behind, but the chariot ran and they were left behind. So therefore they took the straight route and Akrura took a roundabout route because he wanted to go to Yamuna. So they did not go to Yamuna, they went straight. And they also got, Krishna and Balram also got delayed because Akrura took a dip into the river. And then on the way also people were greeting them. Maybe they were giving them some buttermilk to drink. Right? Something. Brajvasis, buttermilk, milk. So that's why they got delayed. So they went straight and then they waited. So this is the reason for their delay. So today we'll stop here if there is any question on this. Okay. So we'll stop, continue tomorrow, see what happens in the Mathura city.